Hey YouTube, how you guys doing? My name is Kyle, you know me as Dragonmar, and welcome to a new video. Today I'll be explaining how to win control maps consistently. I hope you guys enjoy. Control maps, or King of the Hill maps as I like to call them, are maps that are fought around a single objective point, captured and won once a team reaches 100%. They used to be best of 5 but are now best of 3, and these maps include Lijiang Tower, Nepal, Ilios, and Oasis. I'll be giving tips throughout this video on how to consistently win these maps, and also I might explain a little bit as to why I've grown to love them. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you'll learn something new. Well, I have a lot of tips to get through, so let's get started with number 1, which is the proper mindset. Now, Control is extremely fast-paced, as you'll hear me say throughout the video when compared to other game modes, and you need to remember that. When you go into these games, it's important to understand that there may only be 2 or 3 true team fights before a map is decided. This is in contrast to maybe 7 or 8 on different kinds of modes. So create team comps that take advantage of fast play and clean team wipes to achieve victory. Dive comps, in particular D.Va, Tracer, Genji, and Winston, are an example of a fast-paced composition fit for the game type. Tip number 2 is to capture first and ask questions later. So you have to remember, the control point takes 30 seconds to unlock, and that's not a lot of time. So you need to either A, commit to winning a convincing 30-second team fight before the unlock, or secure the point before it even unlocks. Don't fall somewhere in the middle. That's definitely the worst thing you can do. You need to have a clear plan that you're either going to A, wipe that team out, or take control and prevent them from getting on, and this will allow you to capture. So in these, if you want to take that sort of second route of just getting on and occupying the point and boxing the enemy out, Orisa and Reinhardt are great for control maps. Number 3 is team compositions. Now, Control offers a wide variety of team comps that can succeed in my opinion. You can throw Pharahs in there, you can do all kinds of DPS, but Dive comp is by far the one that outclasses everyone else. High mobility heroes that get in and out quickly are what make dive comps what they are, and for the most part, the reason they're so good is because they're able to focus targets down quickly and execute them almost instantly. And because the game mode is so short, winning these team fights super fast allows for easy control of the point, and it may only require them to win a single team fight in some examples where they're able to get picks before fights even start. Now, Dive is made up of, in my opinion, Winston, D.Va, Genji, Tracer, Zenyatta, and Mercy. However, a good substitute for a non-dive comp would be Orisa Roadhog for the suck hook combo, Tracer for a flanker, Junkrat to handle the enemy dives, and Mercy and Zenyatta. So in my opinion, for control points, you either dive or you punish dive. Tip number 4 is ultimate usage and lost fights. So because control maps go so quickly, ultimate usage and management is crucial in these games. You cannot waste ultimates or you risk losing the entire map and even match. To help solve this problem, I think you should communicate which ultimates you want to use before the team fight, ask permission to use ultimates that were not called for to finish the fight, call off ultimates that you think are unnecessary due to a fight being won, and call for wipes and no ultimates in a lost fight. That's just a way to save your ultimates for the next fight. Tip number 5 is the power of the shield. Orisa is quickly becoming a control point must-have for non-dive comps, and the reason is because of her high shield uptime, which we've now seen during the Overwatch League. This allows for a lot of damage to be blocked and a lot of space created for your squishy heroes. So because taking and maintaining a control point is so important, having a shield up the entire duration of a team fight is pretty much essential. I highly recommend any Reinhardt players give Orisa a shot on control maps. I think it'll really pay off. Tip number 6 is the power of the first pick. So, as I have now stated multiple times, because control is so fast-paced, getting the first pick often means you will win the first team fight, or at least be able to capture a point for free. And that's extremely important. You have to remember, the team who caps the first point is sometimes able to get all the way up to 40, even 50% before a true team fight takes place, in which the point could be lost. Never underestimate how important it is for you to stay alive or to get the first pick. Tip number 7 is to understand the flow of control games and timing. Having an internal clock for control games is very important. So you need to A, understand when team fights will happen, and B, which ultimates will be available. So this allows you to plan accordingly for these team fights and to call for either successful wipes, in which case you will come back with full ultimates to win games, or just simply wipe the enemy there because you know exactly what's available. And also, you want to understand when fights are going to take place. So about every 40 to 60 seconds, I would say, there will be a fight over the control point, and this leads to approximately 3 to 4 fights during a game. I would say most of the time for me, I find there's only about 3 a game, or 3 a map, excuse me. So once a team has completely wiped, remember, it takes them also approximately 20 seconds just to get back to any sort of offensive position where they're completely regrouped and could then engage on some sort of target. Finally, tip number 8 is about stalling. Now, stalling is something we joke about a lot on 2CP maps, which is kind of similar, but being able to effectively stall is great. The only difference is for control, you tend not to switch heroes very much because you really do want to build up those ultimates. So your best stalling heroes tend to be your tanks like D.Va, and also Winston in particular is one of the best stallers in the game because of his ultimate. Now, the idea here is that by stalling the point, you are pushing your progress meter further up, and this will allow you to have even less team fights in the end. If you could just get one good stall of about 15 seconds or 15% of that meter, sometimes it's enough to get you close enough to 99% that you will win without needing an entirely other team fight. And that's something that's really important, and it's something you'll learn over time how to effectively stall. Heroes like Tracer are great using their blinks and her recall. Obviously, you've got your D.Va, your Winston, and sometimes you can even do some pretty nice damage on some supports or just stay alive, particularly with Lucio. And finally, guys, I just want to wrap this up by saying never give up in these games. You can always come back even when you're down 99-0. We've seen it in pro games. We've probably all done it ourselves. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy and peace.